My name's Jeremy Williams. I just wanted to share a word of testimony about healing that occurred in me. I've had a right knee issue for probably several years now. Recently injured it again about 3 weeks ago, and it had gotten to the point where it was so swollen I needed a brace to be able to walk and to stand. I stand for a living, and had an MRI on a Friday which showed the damage to the joint that was not something that could be correctable with surgery, and just was what it was, and physical therapy wasn't helping, and it was just crescendoing and getting worse and worse. And was sitting in service on a Saturday evening the day after my MRI, and my kids actually encouraged me to go back for healing or for prayer, and went back. It was really difficult. I'm not sure why it's so challenging sometimes to ask for help. Sometimes I think it's because I live in a world where I control a lot of variables, and so there was a certain humility to it that required to go back and say, I just need help. And within a few minutes of prayer, the pressure went out of the knee. I instantly could bear weight on that side, which I hadn't been able to do for several weeks. I was able to walk out afterwards and walk up the stairs without a limp, which I hadn't had for weeks. And by the time I got home and could slip my jeans off, the entire swelling that had been in the knee was gone. Like, you could see my kneecap. And I'm like a lot of you. When I hear stories like mine, if I was listening to it right now, there sometimes is that tendency to be like, all right, there's got to be a rational explanation for that, right? And I'm just going to tell you, like, there isn't. And a lot of times I think we hear healings in other people and we wonder, like, why doesn't that happen in my life? It must be that they're more worthy. And I can tell you it has nothing to do with my worth. I can promise you that. God, shared with us Jesus' compassion in Matthew 9 when he looked at the multitudes he'd been healing. And the Bible says that he was moved with compassion. It wasn't because of their worth that he healed them. It was because of the compassion he had, that when he saw their physical need, he knew that their spiritual need was so much greater, and that healing was often a mechanism that allowed him to reach in compassion and touch, but to go deeper after that spiritual piece. And in my heart, that was the same thing. There was a definite spiritual thing that God was after in this. It wasn't just about healing my knee. And I just wanted to encourage you with that, because I think often the things that prevent us from receiving God's activity in our life is our own pride sometimes our own desire to be in control, and that need to just humble ourselves and trust him. I think it's reasonable for us to understand that, if we can trust him for our future eternity, meaning we're all hoping for the biggest miracle of all, which is called resurrection. And if we can believe in a resurrection, then we can certainly believe he can heal today. And so I just wanted to encourage any of you who haven't had an opportunity to go and just be with the prayer team, I'd encourage you to have the courage to go back and just ask for help.